Your brain is literally shrinking every time you use ChatGPT, and I can prove it. New research from 2025 shows that people who use AI tools regularly are losing their ability to think critically at an alarming rate. But here's the scary part. Most people have no idea it's happening. This video is about the hidden cognitive costs of AI tools that nobody talks about and how it's already changing your brain without you knowing it. Everyone believes AI makes us smarter, more productive, more creative. Tech companies tell us we're entering a golden age of human augmentation. But what if I told you that's completely backwards? What if AI is actually making us dumber, lazier, and less creative than we've ever been? I spent 40 hours researching the latest studies from MIT, Harvard, and leading AI research labs. What I found will change how you think about every AI tool you use. I'm going to show you 3 shocking ways AI is rewiring your brain. The one simple test that reveals if you're already affected, and most importantly, how to use AI without losing your mind. But first, let me show you just how big this problem really is. Before we dive into what AI is doing to your brain, you need to understand just how dependent we've already become. ChatGPT now has between 800 million to 1 billion weekly active users. That's 1 in every 8 people on Earth using it every single week. But here's where it gets insane. In December 2024 alone, ChatGPT received 3.7 billion visits. That's more than Google gets for most search terms. We're not just casually using these tools. We're completely dependent on them. 20% of US adults now use ChatGPT for work-related tasks. Students are writing entire essays with it. Professionals are making business decisions based on AI recommendations they never fact-check. Think about your own usage. When's the last time you wrote an email without AI suggestions? When's the last time you solved the problem without asking ChatGPT first? This isn't just convenience. It's cognitive offloading on a massive scale. And that's exactly what researchers discovered is destroying our thinking abilities. Which brings us to the first way. AI is rewiring your brain, and it's happening faster than anyone expected. Now, here's where it gets really disturbing. Scientists have discovered that AI isn't just changing how we work, it's physically changing how we think. A brand new study from January 2025, published in one of the world's top journals, tested 666 people on their critical thinking abilities. What they found was shocking. There was a direct, measurable correlation between AI usage and cognitive decline. The more someone used AI tools, the worse they performed on tests measuring reasoning, analysis, and original thought. But it gets worse. They found that younger people, the ones who've grown up with these tools, showed the highest dependency and the lowest critical thinking scores. Here's the test they used, and you can try this right now. Without using any AI tool, try to write a persuasive argument about a topic you care about. Time yourself. Notice how many times you want to reach for AI assistance. Notice how much harder it feels than it used to. If that felt difficult, you're already experiencing what researchers call cognitive atrophy. Your brain is literally losing the ability to perform tasks it once did easily. But critical thinking isn't the only thing we're losing. The second change is even more disturbing because it affects your creativity and originality. But there's a problem most people don't know about, and it's happening to anyone who uses AI for creative tasks. MIT's Media Lab conducted an experiment that should terrify anyone who uses AI for writing or creative work. They took 54 people and split them into groups. Half wrote essays normally, half used AI assistants. The results were devastating. The AI users didn't just perform worse, they consistently underperformed across neurological, linguistic, and behavioral measures. Their brain scans showed less activity in regions associated with creativity and original thought. But here's the most disturbing part. Over time, these people began copying AI-generated content word for word more frequently. They were literally losing the ability to generate original ideas. This is happening right now to millions of people who think they're being more productive. Every time you copy-paste from ChatGPT, every time you let it finish your thoughts, you're training your brain to be less creative. What MIT discovered is that we're creating a generation of people who can't think original thoughts. They can only remix what AI has already created. And this leads us to the most important insight of all, how we can reverse this damage before it's too late. Here's the good news, and this might be the most important thing you learned today. The solution isn't to stop using AI completely. That's not realistic, and it's not even necessary. The key is understanding the difference between collaboration and dependency. Think of AI like a calculator. A calculator doesn't make mathematicians worse at math because they still understand the underlying principles. They use the calculator for computation, not for thinking. But if you used a calculator for basic addition from childhood, you'd never develop number sense. Here's my 3-step framework for AI collaboration without cognitive decline. Step 1, always draft first. Write your initial thoughts before touching AI. This keeps your creative muscles active. Step 2, use AI for enhancement, not generation. Let it improve your ideas. Don't let it create them. Step 3, always verify and personalize. Never copy, paste. Always add add your own perspective, and fact check everything. When you follow this framework, AI becomes a true force multiplier instead of a cognitive crutch. But here's what most people don't realize. The window to develop this healthy relationship with AI is closing fast. Look, AI isn't going away. ChatGPT has 1 billion weekly users for a reason. These tools are incredibly powerful, but power without wisdom is dangerous. Today, you learned that AI dependency is literally rewiring our brains, reducing critical thinking and creativity. But you also learned how to use these tools without losing your mind. You now know something that 99% of AI users don't. Everything I just shared is powerful, but it's useless without understanding how AI actually works behind the scenes. That's exactly what I cover in my next video, how ChatGPT actually thinks and why it's terrifying. Subscribe for more.